Hello people, what is going on? I'm Jason with the Let's Play Pokemon VoltWhite version. Last time we made here to Oplicid City and discovered what we're going to have to do in order to stop N from possibly liberating all Pokemon. This episode, we're going to make our way through Oplicid City Gym, and that's probably all we're going to be doing. Right off the bat, if you're wondering why there wasn't a VoltWhite on Friday of last week, well, there are two real reasons. One, the commentary in that episode was shit. It had the quality equivalent of shit. So you can imagine how that really went through. I know my commentary is bad to begin with, but the commentary for that episode was just beyond what I can measure as bad. It's like ultra bad. Super bad. Just not without the super badness, but like completely awesome. No, not even completely awesome or anything. It's just bad. Sorry, my throat has been really weird today. Well, right as of now. Maybe that screaming to that pill I did about 5 minutes ago have something to do with it. I know the other reason why there wasn't a VoltWhite was because my internet was being a complete and total bitch on me. I barely got any download speed, barely got any upload speed, and if I did attempt to try to upload, there you finally said it. It probably would have taken about a day and a half. My computer was having probably the biggest shit fit I've ever seen it do. It was having a problem trying to access the internet in the first place because usually my internet's decently good. It's like used to having good speed, and when it tries to do something, What am I trying to say? It had a shit fit, pretty much. It tried to access the internet, it realized the internet was not what it's used to, and it took a hard time to adjust to it. Resulting in pretty much anything I did have to do with the internet really fuck up my computer. It was a chore to use TweetDeck, and TweetDeck is probably the one program that uses the least amount of CPU on my entire computer. Besides, maybe TextEdit. Because really, TextEdit is just basic. You know what I mean. Hopefully, you know what TextEdit is. And if you don't know what TextEdit is, you could pretty much infer what it is from the name of it. And if you can't even infer by that point, you're a little on the slow side. Just saying it. Also, that was not supposed to happen. Poliwrath was not supposed to. I don't even think he's gonna Oh! Once again! I don't know if this is once again, meaning I've said this before in that failed recording. Underestimating the speed of Flygon. By a lot. Ugh. It's like I just got something like lodged in my throat. Oh, I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna try to lodge it out. Proceeds to choke as soon as I say that. Brilliant. In the meantime, I'm going to hopefully use a revive. If I had any. You have rare candy? Oh, interesting. Okay, I'm just sorting this out a second time. I do have a revive. I was wondering. I was concerned. I was thinking. I'm pretty sure I bought a revive. Why? Why is it not there? I did not mean to exit out of that menu. I don't seem to know the difference between the circle and X slash cross slash whatever buttons. That's my problem, though. Okay, this time, we're gonna send out Poliwrath first. So Poliwrath can, well, Poliwrath. And that is that. Allows to proceed. Now, I consider this gym to be a bit unique in its own right. I'll battle her while I say this. The real gist of what you're doing is you're jumping off platforms, hitting switches, blatantly obvious switches on the hands of dragons. There are 3 of them. And depending on what formation the hands are, you're either cock-blocked or able to reach areas you weren't capable of reaching before, eventually leading to Iris. If you were playing the Black or Blaze Black version, either one, the gym leader would actually be Drayden opposed to Iris. Their teams are different, so it's not just a consider difference, if I want to really say that. God. I'm pretty sure there are some other differences. Probably more that I'm just not noticing right off the bat. That just could be me and my complete lack of knowledge in the Gen 5. Also, I've finally figured out what Pokemon I want to have for that really bad, that empty spot in my team. The thing is, that Pokemon will not actually be that useful in this gym, and therefore I will be catching him/her/it, if it even has gender, sometime off-screen between now and next week when I record the episode after I beat Iris. And that is that, and this is how the mechanics work. The head is raised up that way, and the head turns to the one direction. You can actually walk along these hands and arms as you previously saw me running up the tail. And also, there are no way of getting around trainers in this gym. By that I mean, any trainer you see, if you want to get to the gym, beat the gym, you're going to have to... What am I trying to say? You're going to have to fight them eventually. I don't know how you... Maybe there's some sort of fancy, schmancy way you can do it. The only way you can activate switches are actually by jumping off and not standing on them. Otherwise, the gym in its entirety would be broken as all fuck. But in all actuality, I don't even know why I even use the term all actuality. I don't know where I was going with that statement. Also, if you couldn't tell by now, in the dozens of Pokemon, aside from the Gyarados and the Ampharos, this gym specializes in Dragon types. Their levels ranging from just, I want to say, 58 to, I would want to say, around 60. From pretty much 60 to 65. And the gym leader's Pokemon, I want to say, are in the 70 range. I'm not in the mood to grab the documentation right now. But I am going to be doing a bit of grinding beforehand. So all Pokemon are at a decent level. Also, oh my god, learning Drill Peck. Getting rid of agility as fast as possible. Aside from Fly, having Drill Peck is actually a very good idea, so I don't have to wait a second turn in order to do something. The only time I would actually want to use Fly in battle was if I was going to use Poliwrath and possibly Surf, and didn't want Zapdos taking damage, so Zapdos would hopefully be faster than Poliwrath, fly up high, and avoid taking damage. But that's just that scenario. It doesn't really matter what my strategy is at this point. Mainly because it's just fight after fight after fight. You don't even need to really worry as long as you have a Dragon type move or an Ice type move, or on the occasion the Electric type move, because there's been Gyarados, Charizards, more Gyarados. Then there's the Ampharos and the Milotic. I don't know why I'm grouped Milotic with Ampharos, even though they're two completely different Pokemon. Really, I should have grouped Milotic with the Gyarados and the Charizard being weak to electricity. And Milotic just tried to use Attract, but failed. Congratulations, Milotic. You are a pretty dumb Milotic. I prefer Cynthia's Milotic over you. That's actually the second time that has happened. You notice how, like, when, Poliwrath used Close Combat, the first time it didn't even get the Milotic into yellow yet, but when the second time he used it, it completely killed it, which I don't understand how that works. After using it, the back defense fall, not like its physical attack rises or anything. I just find that confusing. It happened both this time and in the last recording when I faced the Milotic. And I don't know if I kept the Kangaskhan in that kept Poliwrath out for the Kangaskhan in that recording in fear that it would be faster, or be able to actually be able to take a close combat. But whatever. Where are we going next? We're going to apparently slam onto this one, causing the hand to lower. And that's to be a thing. If you were to, well, just demonstrate, as I said earlier, you're not able to activate the switch unless jumping off. And if you were to try to run across the head, you wouldn't be allowed to because, well, there's no actual flat ground to stand on when you get on the end of it. Only stairs. This is where you have to actually go down, and another unavoidable fight. Which I don't know why I use the term unavoidable. All of them are unavoidable, it's just common knowledge at that point. Now, I'm not even gonna go on that argument. That was pretty stupid, honestly. And something I mentioned during the scrap recording. Looking back at it, out of memory, not editing it because I didn't want to edit it if, the internet was really buggy when I woke up earlier that day. It was the Thursday, actually. So, I knew it was going to be really messed up. And after recording it, I never edit the video immediately after I record it. It's just something that I have. And when I got around to actually wanting to record, I was pretty much... what do I want to use? What term do I want to use? I don't even know why you would even call it a term. It's just me saying something. When the internet was not working at all, I had no initiative to edit on top of the original Zero initiative, and pretty much left it in its raw state of a recording covering the entire screen in its 1280 by 1080 glory. My screen actually isn't in those dimensions of the previous mentioned 1080 by 1280 by 1040. It actually is the traditional standard, maybe is the term, 1080p dimensions, which is 920 by 1080. The current dimensions are, again, 1280 by 1024. Oh, my bad. And that is that, and I'm getting absolutely raped in this battle. That Garchomp really screwed me over. Sadly, if I can't get this Ice Punch in and kill it in one shot, or freeze it, perhaps, I am utmostly screwed. That's another thing that happened during the recording. I actually froze an opponent's Pokemon like 3 different times. And I mentioned this in the scrap recording that I've only pretty much ever frozen an opponent's Pokemon once, maybe twice. It doesn't happen for me that often. Maybe that could be just something different in the coding of Gen 5 compared to Gen 4, the generation I really play. Well, I played a lot of. And I have max potions, apparently. Huh. But I don't think I'd have probably frozen an opponent's Pokemon once, and that was it. So it's weird for me to see a move actually freezing, well, my move's freezing other Pokemon in any game that I play. Just mainly because I'm not exactly used to it, it never happened that often. Which, in its, defending it, it is a slight bit, how do you say, cheap, maybe? Having Pokemon completely unable to move, unable to do anything until it thaws out, which takes a certain amount of turns, or, well, thaw naturally by waiting the said amount of turns, or having a Fire-type move done to it, which then, a mechanic in itself, while it is simple, I actually like it. I'm trying to think of another status inflictment that it could... Yeah, like if you are... I don't think this is a thing. I don't know. I haven't read it saying it was a thing. But say if you were burnt. Let's say the Steelix I am facing had a burn infliction on it, perhaps by a Will-O-Wisp or a Fire-type move that does it. Say it was hit by that Hydro Pump there, assuming it was still alive at that point. If, using the same logic, the burn would have been technically healed in a measure, and the infliction would not be on there, but that kind of thing only works for freezing, where it's the most prominent. But maybe that could be what they include in Gen 6. But as strange as a concept as that is for me. I don't really like trying to think of the next generation. It kind of just hurts my brain a little bit. Trying to imagine what else crazy shit they're gonna throw in there, because they don't really have that many original ideas left. They've pretty much taken every concept or idea for Pokemon so far. Well, they've taken all the ideas. They have very little left. That's why you see Pokemon that are very similar between generations. Some even taking their ones directly from it. Example being Gen 3's Pineco or whatever it's called, being the Bagworm Pokemon. And the Gen 4 Pokemon, Burmy, also being directly called the Bagworm Pokemon, and to boot, Burmy is a pretty shitty Pokemon in its own regards. And none of these buttons want to work today, apparently. This is me assuming that... Do I have something that I could... Yeah, 80. That could just possibly work. I want to keep him at high enough HP as possible, so he doesn't die on the last battle between here and Iris. Also, one thing I actually saw like 2 or 3 days ago was a trailer for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon 3. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, I most likely have, but I loved Mystery Dungeons Explorers of Time. It's probably one of my favorite games ever. Which, now I think about it, and try to organize which games would be my favorite games ever, I'm trying to come up with some right now. Besides just the mentioned, Explorers of Time, I can probably think of 2 to 3 more. I don't want to mention them right now, though. But back to Mystery Dungeon 3. That game looks so amazing. Like, it's, if you haven't seen it, pretty much what it shows is that instead of the spriting that happened in Mystery Dungeon, Mystery Dungeon Red and Blue Rescue Team, and then Explores of Time and Darkness, the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon 3, as I'm calling because I don't remember the exact name, is actually actual 3D Pokemon models, which I assume very similar to ones on Pokédex 3D, or Pokédex 3D Pro, if that's a thing, on the 3DS. It's free, I'm pretty sure. And it looks so good of a game. I haven't even seen any real anything, just showing us showing a few, just pretty much showing off its 3D modelness, as well as, I want to say what else would be showing off. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's also showing off, yeah, showing off the starters being playable from Gen 5. The ones being the 3 starters, Tepig, Oshawott, and Snivy. Holy shit, I almost completely blanked there. As well as Axew, who is a Dragon type, which is a first for the Mystery Dungeon series, having a Dragon type as a playable Pokemon, which I find that's cool. I may be an Axew if I don't know it, depending on what other Pokemon are, what it is. Then I want to say there was one other, but I don't remember off the top of my head. It'll probably be on the screen anytime now. But like I said about 5 seconds ago, if I would probably use Axew just because it's unique in itself, having a Dragon type as a starter Pokemon in the Mystery Dungeon series. It hasn't happened before, and if there wasn't a, well, with I'm gonna call them the starting, mainly because that's what they pretty much are. The startings for the playable Pokemon, I'll use that term, but that sounds better. If they brought back some other Pokemon from previous generations that weren't in there, as well as bring back the ones that were in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon's Explorers of Time, Explorers of Darkness's expansion per se, which was called Explorers of Sky. If they can bring those ones back, that would be amazing, because of all the Pokemon that would be available, the 3 starters of Unova, the starters of all the generations with Pikachu, Axew, insert large amount of Pokemon, the one I would probably choose would either be Axew, mainly because it's a Dragon type, and that would be friggin' awesome, or Riolu, because it evolves into one of my favorite Pokemon, Lucario, which I haven't actually brought up much, and have not actually considered bringing onto my team for this. That is mainly because I already have a Pokemon planned out for Steel, which is the Pokemon I haven't got, and I also have the Pokemon for fighting already, which is Poliwrath. And on that note, I don't even know if I finished that thought on what I would do for Mystery Dungeon 3, as I call it. That is the end of today's episode. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Please, feel free to, I don't know, feel free to breathe once in a while. That actually helps. I hear it helps. I hear it has you live longer if you breathe. I just read it online somewhere. Probably not true. Just maybe not. Also, thank you all guys all so very much for watching. I am Jacob. Peace.